Borussia Dortmund bailed out again, not for the first time, by the incredible 20-year-old who is Erling Haaland. Of course, as you know, Trev, son of one of your former players, Alpha Inge Haaland. He played for Leeds United as well. In fact, Erling Haaland, Simon, was born in Leeds. He's 6'4".
Yep.
This kid has become the fastest player to score 20 Champions League goals, and his 2 last night helped Borussia Dortmund eliminate Seville. But the question at the top of the show, I think, is a relevant one. I mean, Trevor, you might say, no, Manchester City are going to be in there. I cannot see Haaland going, with all due respect to Borussia Dortmund, going anywhere else other than 1 or 2 clubs. And those would be Barcelona, or the favourite for me would be Real Madrid. Now, would you throw City in this?
100%, I would throw Manchester City in there. And that not just because his dad had a connection with the football club, but because of the Premier League. The Premier League is the most competitive, exciting league in the world. And for me, he has the raw materials, he has the physical profile to be successful in the Premier League. I think he's a transformative striker. I think if he goes in at any Premier League club, any club really in Europe, he changes their pathway as a football club.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking about Manchester City. They're desperate for a striker, really. You know, I know Gabriel Jesus has done okay. He's scored some goals. He works hard for the team. But talking about an out-and-out number 9, a superstar, this kid is already turning out to be one of them superstars. I think Manchester United, if he goes to Manchester United, he changes the fortunes of that football club. Liverpool, you know, there's been a lot of debate about Firmino's role in the football club. I think he changes them, and certainly Chelsea as well, who've rumoured to be massively interested in him. I think if he wants to challenge himself in the best league, I think he comes to the Premier League. It's whether one of them clubs can put the package together to sign him, whether he wants to leave Germany, because if we all remember, you know, you look at the champions of the Champions League, it's Bayern Munich. Why would they not be interested in taking him on board?
They'll certainly all be in, Trevor, but I honestly, I think when it comes to allure, there's only one, and that's Real Madrid. They have it over the others. Maybe Barcelona as well, but they have it over Manchester City.
What, because
they
of the glamour?
have it over Manchester United. He could have gone to Manchester United, didn't go. And of course, Mino Raiola is right behind him, operating on his behalf. But I think, unlike Trevor, I think there's only one, that's Real Madrid, Simon. He's a ready-made replacement for Benzema.
There's a big assumption that he's going to be up for transfer because Dortmund have only just signed him. I'm assuming he's got a reasonably long contract, and I'm assuming, given the fact that everyone is raving about him because of his performances, he's going to be at a price point that is going to be prohibitive to whomsoever you mention. We've just sat here, you repeatedly sit here on this show telling me that Barcelona are in financial meltdown. So they're out of the equation then, aren't they? Right? Real Madrid don't have much money either. So who's going to sign this player? Who's going to pay 150 to 200 million pounds, euros, whatever it is, who's going to write a cheque for that? Probably the only people that really can do it are either PSG and Manchester City. Because we constantly use, like we used the stalking horse. He's got 3 years left to go on his contract. He's got 3.5 years left to go on his contract. Dortmund are not selling this player, Mino Raiola or not, anytime soon for any form of price shave or any form of economics. So we're now sitting here saying, right, let's just ruminate for a second and say Trevor's raving about him because he's an outstanding player. He fills a position that there are so few at that level, right? So he is a rare commodity, and when you've got scarcity, that's how you make money, right? So he's a 200, as disgusting as this is, he's a 200 million euro player. Who is going to write that check out? It ain't going to be Barcelona. It's not going to be Real Madrid because they haven't got much money either. It could be PSG, but they've got all their own obligations and challenges that they're trying to adhere to certain restrictions that they're putting on themselves. So it really can only be Man City.
No, why wouldn't it be Barcelona? Why wouldn't it be Real Madrid? You said yesterday that Barcelona are not in any financial meltdown.
You've just sat here for the last week arguing with me about financial meltdown.
And you've been saying that there is no financial meltdown.
No, meltdown is one thing, being able to observe their current debt. Raising another £200 million on top is taking it beyond the pale. They have to restructure what they've currently got. They've got a 1.1 billion structure with £250 million a year being lost out of gate receipts. I doubt they're going to write cheques out for £200 million. They're probably more concerned with reducing their wage bill, because you've just seen them again having to reduce their wage bill. So whilst I don't think they're going to melt down, I also don't think they're going to be writing £200 million cheques out. I don't see this boy going anywhere.
You think he'll stay at Dortmund?
Well, I think Dortmund are going to put him in such a price bracket, it's going to be incredibly prohibitive. And I think the only people that possibly might be prepared to break the bank for it are Manchester City. But I also think that's not a look that Man City really want. I don't think they want that tag. I think they've been able to constantly push back against outrageous assertions by people like Javier Tebas, who's the head of La Liga, that it's Man Cities of the world that break the transfer market, that cause the problems. In a COVID climate, with every single football club losing money, who is really going to write our £200 million check out? Nobody.
I disagree. If Barcelona want to find that money, they'll find it. If Real Madrid want to find that money, they'll find it. As Trevor says, for a transformative player like Haaland, City could do it.
You've got a wage bill.
Chelsea could do it as well.
Chelsea could do it as well. He's not going to stay at Dortmund.
But they could do it, Jim. But the reality of it is no English club has ever written a cheque for that kind of money. Man United went, absolutely no way are we paying over 100 million quid for Jadon Sancho. So the parameters of what people will and won't spend have been set there. And I just don't think you're right. I think we'll see, and proof will be in the pudding, but I don't believe there'll be a club this summer, unless Dortmund need money like everyone else, and they're prepared to sell him for less.
Trevor, is this a once-in-a-generation player?
Well, he's looking that way.
Right. So you break the bank for him.
To break the records of Ronaldo, Messi and Robert Lewandowski, I think that is very special. Now, I do feel the officiating that he's played under is slightly different to what the three previous players I mentioned started their Champions League careers in. So I think it is slightly easier for forward players to be protected and to not have to take the challenges that them three players had to. But still, 20 years old, he scored 32 goals in 34 games, 6 in 7 for Norway. He's breaking records left, right and centre. And you look at his physical profile, you can't deny it. He's 6'4", he's fast, his movement is superb, and his finishing on his left side is so clinical. I mean, right up there with the best in the world, even at his early age. So I do feel there's going to be a massive clamour for his signature. But I believe he's got a sell-on clause or a
release
buyout clause. Yeah, that's what I was about to say, Trev.
For next summer. So maybe it might be one where he continues to learn, continues to develop, continues to break records whilst at Borussia Dortmund, and then summer of 2022, that's when we'll see the clamour really build up.
The release clause is said to be is out there.
Well, that changes the landscape. That changes the landscape, because at 75 million euros, you're probably going to be finding that a lot of the clubs that I've just discounted would then be in a different category. They'd be able to buy him. So if he has got a buyout clause at 75 million, I'm surprised that they put that in there, because
and
they knew
next summer. That'll be next summer,
as of 2022. Yeah, and if they want to pull him forward this season, then they'll be saying to Dortmund, we'll give you 90 million now rather than 75 million in a year. Right. Yeah, that changes the landscape.
Right. So, Haaland, would you want him at your club, United? You missed out first time around. If United fans listening this morning think, we could do with him, come on and tell us why. City, Trevor, you would push City to go get him. But to me, the allure of Real Madrid and Barcelona, but particularly Real Madrid, would be too much for him to pass up. Very interesting one there. I just saw it go by. I've got to mention it before we hit the break. Sean in Leeds. Sean, I love it. Erling Haaland will end up at Leeds United, guys. He's always said his desire is to play for Leeds. He plays for Dortmund. That's Leeds' twin city, don't forget. Watch this space. We'll watch it, Sean. We'll watch it. But would you take Haaland either at the end of this season or certainly at the end of next, when it's reported he could go for about 75 million euros?